The first stage of planned genocide is the dehumanization mentioned above.
The process and all its stages can be vividly observed in the example of the Holocaust. After the Nazis came to power, they began the first stage, propaganda that Jews were not human and that they posed a threat to society. Caricatures and articles demonizing Jews started to emerge. The myth of a global Jewish conspiracy was actively promoted. Gradually, people, the German population, became convinced that Jews were indeed a threat to them and their children. Similarly, anti-cultists are currently targeting various religious groups, branding future victims as cultists through informational terrorism. This tactic implants the notion in society that a cultist is equivalent to less than human. Now, I want to draw your attention to another fact. Propaganda, like terrorism, works in two directions simultaneously. One direction is the planned activity aimed at the potential target, and the other is the actions directed at everyone else, the general public, that is, at the witnesses of the crime being committed. Because to carry out such an operation, as the Nazis did at that time, and as the anti-cultists are doing now, the approval of the society is required. If not active support, then at least silent agreement and non-resistance. And for this, they first need to convince people that those the anti-cultists have chosen as their targets are dangerous to society and pose a potential threat. The public is first intimidated, their vigilance is lulled, and then, by deception, they are drawn to the anti-cultist side, making them accomplices to the crime. Back then, during the Holocaust, the German people became accomplices in the genocide of the Jewish people. Now, the accomplices to the crimes of anti-cultism are the people of Russia and those countries where anti-cultists are freely allowed to operate, where they still feel a sense of impunity and unchecked power. Just as the Nazis once marked Jews with a yellow star, anti-cultists now brand dissenters with the label cultist, which, in their interpretation, designates the target that can and should be destroyed. And take note, those who marked Jews with yellow stars may not have personally killed anyone, but in doing so, they incited violence among others. This is precisely what anti-cultists are doing now, opening a hunt on individuals and organizations they deem undesirable. Through covert manipulations, they incite all others to commit acts of violence while remaining on the sidelines themselves. This first stage of potential genocide became possible as soon as the anti-cult movement emerged, branding ordinary people simply for what they believe in. As soon as the labels cultist and totalitarian sect appeared, this stage has already been reached in modern society.